Story 1, show, don't tell. Give them a lot of attention in the bedroom. It's easier to do if you genuinely love and prefer them small in general, like me, as opposed to loving them because they are your girlfriends, which is the sense I get from your post. The latter is very good, of course, but I guess it comes more naturally to you when you are crazy about small ones regardless of whom they are attached to. In any case, you should show them a lot of love while you're having intimacy, but also outside of the bedroom. Praise her figure. Tell her how good her body looks in certain clothes. Suggest she wears certain dresses or shirts because you love how her breasts look in them. Touch or fondle them at unexpected moments. When you're alone together, obviously, and say you just couldn't help it because they're so attractive. Or leave your laptop open to a small breasts content page, so she sees you're really into them. Story 2. This was something posted by Emperor Cartagia, who used Reddit exclusively through Reddit is Fun. With the death of third-party apps, I decided to remove all my content from Reddit. 9 years of comments and posts, gone because of idiotic administration. Story 3. Get on those breasts. Stare at her when she changes. Make gratifying noises when they come out. Spend extra time during intimate moments on them to show her you love them. Cuddle them. Fondle them while relaxing on the couch. Give them all the attention in the world. Saying it will not be enough. She might never like them, but knowing you like them may be enough for her. Story 4. I am your girlfriend. The only thing you can do is show her that you like her breasts just fine. You can't speak for the media or fashion or tradition, literature, poetry, or pornography, and if you try, it might come across as disingenuous. She'll have to learn to not care about the popular image on her own, and she will, and your support will help, but it can only come from within, and it might not be soon. I was teased by my father and brother and various idiotic schoolmates for my own 36 AAs and spent age 13 to 36 feeling ugly and inadequate. Somewhere in my late 30s, it started to really sink in that I was okay. Now I'm in my 50s and I have the same cute, perky breasts I had in college, and I love them, and I look seriously hot in workout wear compared to my peers. But it took time. Don't make a big deal out of them, but be mindful not to step into the stereotypes when she's around. No jokes about breasts with the guys, you know? And maybe be upfront about your own body consciousness. Do you have slight man boobs? A weird birthmark or back hair? Or do you point to the left? Share your vulnerabilities in return. We all have them, it's just that hers connect to an economic empire. Story 5. I'm not sure I have ever met a woman who is satisfied with her breasts. No matter the breasts, if it's not the size, it's the shape or something else. Meanwhile, most men just love breasts no matter how they are. And you can love them however much you want, it most likely won't change a thing. It's an issue she has with her own body image, and short of going to therapy about that, there's a low chance she'll change that. Story 6. Constantly ask to see them. If you draw attention to how their size didn't bother you, she will feel self-conscious, so just appreciate them. Tell her you like her breasts when she's lifting her shirt and you see a glimpse of her bra. Be like, ooh, the girls. Let me see. Story 7. So I just walked up to my small-breasted girlfriend, reached down her shirt, and touched her breast. She asked why, so I showed her this post. She then grabbed my crotch and asked if it works for men too. Story 8. A wise man once told me you can get the same buzz off a shot of whiskey as you can from a stein of beer. Little breasts rule. Big breasts rule. Breasts rule. Story 9. I have small breasts too. I'd say forget anything about the media. If she doesn't like her breasts, she doesn't like them. Saying anything about other people or the media is just saying she's been influenced, and it will hurt her ego whether or not it's true. With these kinds of issues, a person hating themselves or their body, it's important not to invalidate their feelings. You don't want to come off as saying, well, you're wrong. Other than that, I'll let you know when I come to terms with my own breasts. Story 10. You should definitely go to Ask Women. Their answer will be more in-depth and directly from the source, rather than what some guys have tried and maybe gotten to work. Story 11. You might disagree with how I feel about your breasts. But just because you disagree with me doesn't negate my opinion. I love your breasts. They are wonderful, and I'm so happy with them. Let me have my opinion and you have yours. You may be unsatisfied with your breast size, and that's your business. Me, I'm satisfied with the size, shape, and proportion, and I'm very happy. So excuse me while I enjoy them, or something to that effect of separating her projections and beliefs about her body and your beliefs. She can still not like her body. She can still believe big breasts are better or whatever society says. But you can work on getting her to acknowledge that your opinion is valid and real. You don't need to carry her opinions or others. Story 12. There's a part of me I don't like, and a boyfriend at the time said, I love your undershirt. I said, bullshit, you do, why then? And he said, because it is attached to you, which was a great answer and still makes me smile. Story 13. I used to look at my woman, and she'd ask what's up. I'd say something like, let me worship you, then proceed to do just that. Fondle, kiss, suck, bite a little, and so on. Look her in the eyes intermittently while it's done. Also, say things like, you drive me crazy, or something like that. Be creative. You're like an exotic flower that I shouldn't be so close to, or some variation implying you can't help it, would usually turn her on. I noticed in the heat of it all, what you say doesn't really matter. The intonation matters more. So if you start a sentence and at the end it doesn't make sense, as long as it was confident and directed at her in the context of affection, it should be fine. Story 14. As a female who now hates her own breasts, I need smaller ones. I find that when my other half reminds me he does not care what society thinks, he loves them and would not change them, it helps my confidence. When I am complaining about not being able to find pretty bras that both fit and are comfortable, he always offers his hands to be used as my bra, and it honestly makes me laugh every time because, if he could, he would have them in his hands all the time. Story 15. Give those breasts a ton of love. Suck on them, play with them, rub them, rest your head on them, whatever you can think of that she might enjoy. Actions speak louder than words. Story 16. It might help hearing from other girls with small breasts that they love theirs and are confident with them. Girls lifting each other up can really have a positive effect on many of us. Story 17. So my advice isn't very wholesome, but I'm a girl who used to struggle with this too. Now I don't care and actually really like my small breasts, but I struggled for years. If your relationship is comfortable enough, compliment a girl on the TV who has small breasts on something other than her small breasts. Preferably, the girl has similar features or hair color to your girlfriend. Like I said, this isn't wholesome advice, but when I was insecure about this, I didn't find my partner telling me he liked them helped at all because I'd think, of course you have to say that. However, if he complimented a girl on the TV that looked kind of like me, same hair color or whatever, and she happened to have small breasts too, my mind would be thinking, oh well, she has small breasts, so he must like them. In the same way that if you complimented a girl's outfit on TV but she happened to have large breasts, she'd be thinking, it's because she has large breasts in her head, and then get upset internally. Story 18. As a large-breasted woman, natural G-cup, I am probably just as self-conscious about them. While my partner adores them, I often wish they were smaller. Don't get me wrong, they can look amazing in the right underwear, but once the support is gone, they just kind of flop around, and I can't imagine anyone finding that appealing. Learning to accept yourself the way you are is far from easy, particularly when we are bombarded with enhanced, surgically and digitally images of perfect women. Having a loving, supportive partner definitely helps, though. I also wish I was able to wear nice summer tops, backless dresses, look good in cute pajamas, and engage in numerous other braless activities. Also, underboob sweat and gravity. Enough said. Story 19. Make much of other parts of her. I complained about my breast size to my fiancé once. He shrugged and said, I am an ass man, and then smacked me on the butt. Breast insecurity vanquished. I guess what made the difference was knowing he cares about my breasts as much as my feet, you know? It became a non-issue. Story 20. A long time ago, I saw a picture of two women. One was large-breasted, big, round, and smooth. The other was small-breasted, but her nipples stood out like signposts. The majority of comments were towards the smaller breasts due to the nipples. I agree. Big breasts are nice, small breasts are nice. Hard nipples are awesome. Story 21. To be completely honest with you, The absolute best way to reassure your girlfriend would be to head over to Ask Women and take the advice from there before this post ends up on Bad Women's Anatomy. Story 22. I want to cry reading this. I don't know if it's all the validation that someone somewhere would think my breasts are really great, or because my boyfriend has made comments asking when I'll get them done and I feel inadequate even though he plays with them a lot and likes to see them. Maybe I'm just hormonal. Who knows? Story 23. Play and stare at them more. You can also casually point out how they're going to keep looking great even when she's old, while other women get to enjoy aging. Story 24. Definitely show, but also tell. As a small-breasted woman, I love hearing my partner talk about how he loves my chest. He always tells me, more than a handful is a waste, and he is very genuine. Also, show her popular models from the last 20 years. Most are tall, thin, with very small cup-sized breasts. It's literally a niche that many men prefer. I like to own the attitude. I have bralettes with catchy phrases. I wear a lot of crop tops. It's also really nice to not be forced to wear a bra. Bras for women with small breasts especially just promote sagging and the lack of muscle definition to hold themselves up. Small breasts are beautiful. Story 25. I have an above-average chest size statistically speaking, and take it from me, I still feel inadequate. It's just the fact we live in a society where everyone is trying to one-up everyone else. Instagram models who are already stunning are making their breasts and butts bigger and their waists smaller using Photoshop. And women, in general, can sometimes feel like we can't compete. I'm going to be controversial here and say, do not make a big deal of her breasts all of a sudden out of nowhere. It will seem forced, insincere, and possibly make her feel worse. I tell her you like her just the way she is and slowly dial up the attention over time. You'd be surprised how much your significant other admiring you can make you feel like a rock star. Good luck to you both. Story 26. My last girlfriend hated her breasts because she thought they were too big. Humans always want what they don't have, mostly. It's the same for curly or straight hair. Many would like to have the opposite of what they have. Story 27. My husband once told me, small breasts are their own category on Pornhub, but a small butt isn't, to make me feel better about my shortcomings in the chest area. It was oddly encouraging. Story 28. She has the wrong point of view. The flatter a chest is, the larger the breasts actually are, because math indicates that given any curved segment, you can calculate the proportions of the rest of the circle. The less curved that segment is, the larger the circle is. This means flatter chests are larger. Science also supports the superiority of smaller breasts. Therefore, her worries are completely unfounded. Story 29. Honestly, genuine compliments and time. I always used to hate the shape of my breasts. They are not something you would see in movies, but my husband has always given me genuine compliments. Like when I am changing my shirt, he will look at me with love in his eyes and just say something like, "Your breasts are so awesome. I really love your breasts." During a hug, he might give them a random grab and say, "Your breasts are so great." If I changed my shirt and he did not get to see my breasts, he looks genuinely disappointed he missed out on seeing them. It is just random moments like these that have helped my confidence so much, and I genuinely believe he loves them even when I do not always love them. Now I will just randomly flash him sometimes for fun instead of hiding them away. The important thing to keep in mind is to keep it genuine and to certain moments, not constantly bringing them up trying to make her believe it. That makes the compliments seem not genuine. Also, do not always make the compliments about her breasts. Compliment things she is happy with too. Her figure, her eyes, anything. I brought my husband coffee this morning, and he just looked at me lovingly and randomly told me, "You are so beautiful." Those kinds of compliments on a regular basis really make a woman feel like, hey, I might not love my body, but this guy sure does. Story 30. This is probably better suited for Ask Women. Another user put it well. Don't excessively mention it to her original poster. Just leave it be. Make her feel attractive, but don't put her insecurity on a pedestal. It's likely to make her feel more self-conscious if you are constantly looking, touching, commenting, etc. This is an extreme example, but consider the situation if your penis was really small. Would you want her to constantly comment that she prefers it small? Story 31. I have small, yet cute, boobs, and every time I express disappointment in them, my husband defensively says, "Don't talk bad about them. They are mine and I love them." He does not mean they are literally his, but it is nice of him and I appreciate it. Story 32. I absolutely wish I had small breasts. You get to wear more revealing outfits, not worry about things bouncing around while doing activities, and other things. Don't get me wrong. I love my body, but she should know that there are pros and cons to everything. Having small breasts is not a bad thing. Story 33. My wife has small breasts, and I love them. Something I said once that made her tear up is that I'm glad she doesn't have large breasts because it allows me to hold her closer. She was very happy to hear that. Story 34. Your intent to make her feel better is not wrong, but your initial perspective of the problem and framing is very wrong. It sounds like you want to be the fixer here and logic away an emotional situation, which is literally impossible. You're making her body image about you, and there's no good outcome in that. You're trying to invalidate her feelings by pointing out that yours are more important, as in saying, "I love them and so should you." Your best approach is going to be talking to her with a genuine intent to understand, with a real desire to feel like she feels. Leave your opinion totally out of it. It sounds a bit counterintuitive, but see what happens when you gain her trust and make her feel seen and understood. Physical intimacy and maybe newfound confidence will follow emotional intimacy.